today's press conference. Right now, we're going to start with head coach Phil Neville, followed by defender Chris McVeigh. We're going to start with head coach Phil Neville now.
Evening, everyone. Obviously, we're disappointed. It's not a feeling that we've had for a long time. So it hurts, and it hurts a lot, particularly in the manner in which we lost. You can say all you want about the decisions to send the two lads off, but I thought our discipline was really poor, and I've told the players that that you know, when you're playing in games like this, when you know that the referee is quite keen to get his yellow card out, then you've got to be careful. You've got to stay on your feet, and you think about the two challenges both players made. I thought they were silly, sloppy challenges, particularly when you know that Buxer, whose experience is going to go down really easily, who's going to try and, gamesmanship, is going to try and get the player a yellow card, going to try and get him sent off. You know that experience tells you that, and you've got to be better than that. And it came at a time in the game when I thought for the first time we looked like we were in a little bit more control. A couple of the changes we've made at halftime, we've put in Harry up front and Robert Taylor on the right, give us a little bit of a better foundation after a real sloppy start to the game. And once we got one sent off and then two sent off, it was just damage limitations, and that for me hurt even more, because we're a team that want to challenge and compete in every game. And what I would say at the end, we had 9 players on that field that run their absolute socks off and never stop running, never stop working. We suffered a lot tonight in terms of a couple of players going off injured, big players for us going off injured, which knocked our rhythm. But the players that then stayed on the pitch and competed, I'm proud of. But we've got to be better in terms of our discipline. And today's a day where we've just got to lick our wounds, take the hits a little bit, and hopefully it's just a little bump in the road and we bounce back next week against Charlotte.
We'll start with questions now. Chris Whittingham first, then Michelle Kaufman.
Thank you, Rafa. Just wanted to start with the injuries to Ayman Mabika and Leo Campana. What for you were the diagnoses there, and how much did their absences affect the game?
Well, I think their actions definitely affected the game because of the form that both those kids were in. Leo obviously is getting a lot of the praise, and rightly so. And Ame, I think, has been really good in the last 4 games as well. So I think what you saw tonight was you saw an accumulation of playing three out the last 4 games on turf. We've got another game on turf next week, and we lost 2 players, maybe 3 or 4. Looking at some of the players in the dressing room now, so we're just going to have to recover really well. Hopefully, the players back at the facility can get back fit too quickly, because we'll need them. And we've got some of our MLS 2 players that we will need probably in the next week or 2 because of the injuries that we've suffered tonight. Injuries are part and parcel of the game. But what I would say is that the players have had a tough stretch on turf, and we're just going to have to ride this little bit of period, because you do pick up little knocks and bruises when you travel and when you play on this type of surface. And it's not the surface; it's the different types of surface. The quality of the turf in what we've been playing has been 3 different types of turf. All I think has been substandard types of turf, considering what the quality of the turf you can get on. But that is just that's probably compounded the injuries really.
Next question, Michelle Kaufman, then Franco.
Phil, first of all, do you know what the injury? I mean, does it look serious or anything for Campana and Ayman Mabika? I mean, and Robbie Robinson also? If you could just, what are the injuries for all 3, and do they seem serious? Do you think they'd be able to be back next week?
I've got to say, I think Ame came off, looked like a muscle injury. So I'd say that with muscle injuries, you're talking at least 3 to 4 weeks, but I'm speculating there. With Leo, it was tightness in the bottom part of his leg. Robbie will be okay for next week.
Can I ask a second? That was just my my injury pre-question. The other question is just, what do you do in central defense going forward if Mabika can't play, Damian Lowe's out, Quinteros out? How do you adjust going forward for the Charlotte game with the limited numbers?
Well, we have an MLS2 game here tomorrow, which I'm staying for. We've got Ryan Saylor playing in that game. First round draft pick who we've got high hopes for, who's not played, who's not kicked a ball probably in 5 months. So, I think in these situations, players will have to fill in. You saw Kieran Gibbs come back tonight. So that was good for us. We've got McVeigh that can play there. We've got Gregor that can play there as well. So we're going to have to ask players to do jobs that's slightly foreign to them, but ones that we need them to do. This is what having a depth squad is all about. We missed Damo now for the next 2 games because he's suspended for the US Open Cup game as well on the Tuesday. So it's opportunity knocks for someone that goes in and puts in a really good performance that will then stay in the team. That's what we've created here. And tonight we lost the game 2-0 when I've got to say, I think last season we might have lost this game 4-5, 5-0, and we were losing games 4-5-0. I thought the character that the players showed under extreme adversity was outstanding. And we'll need to show those types of qualities next week at Charlotte. We need to pass the ball better. We need to create more chances. But to do that, you need forwards on the pitch. And today we had no forwards on the pitch from, I'm going to guess here, probably 15 minutes when Leo went off.
The last 2 questions, Franco, and then Mike Di Pasquale.
Thanks, Rafa. Phil, in the first half, you guys struggled even before the red cards. What do you attribute those struggles to? Was it the early goal that they got within the first minute? Was it Campana going down and losing your number 9 reference point? What do you attribute those first half struggles to?
Yeah, well, I think the 2 big things was 1 minute and 4 on the clock, and we give away a sloppy pass, and they score directly from that, which knocks the stuffing out of you when you've got a game plan. Then when you centre forward, who's in great form, goes down injured, and then all of a sudden you've got Robert Taylor at centre forward. And the other thing was that was 2 moments in the game, and we could only have 3 moments in the game. So we had to be really careful with our next moments. And Leo has been our figurehead. He's been the one that's took the fight to the opposition. And without him, it just felt like the ball was coming back at us. When we changed it a little bit at half time, I thought we got better just a period after half time. I thought we controlled it a little bit more. Motta started to control the game in the first half. The one thing I said to him was that we didn't pass the ball well. We didn't have the courage to pass the ball well, and we didn't connect passes. And that's the biggest thing when you play New England, because they like to high press. You need to connect your passes really quickly. And we just looked really sloppy in possession. And I think it was because of those 2 early setbacks. Then Amay going off, and we just found it tough to get our rhythm. And, and I thought Quinteros was doing really well up until the point of getting sending off. I thought he'd come in, he was determined. And then he gets sent off.
Last question, Mike Di Pasquale.
Thank you, Rafa. Phil, just to follow up a little bit, did it seem like everything that could go wrong did go wrong? The early goal, Leo coming off early because of the injury, 2 red cards. And with that said, how do you have the boys just forget about something like this so it doesn't linger?
Well, we've got to recover. There's a lot of tight bodies in there. We've got to recover really well. We've got to prepare well for the game next week at Charlotte. It's going to be a brilliant game. Obviously their home games, their home form is as good as any team in the league. Correct me if I'm wrong. So we're going to have to be, we can't feel sorry for ourselves because of 1 defeat. We've just had a run of 4 wins on the bounce. I think this league, you can be streaky. You can go on runs of wins and losses. We've got to make sure that we return to winning ways as quickly as possible. We've got a big week next week. We've got Charlotte, we've got the US Open Cup, and we've got DC at home. And there's no time at all just to be moping around. This is 1 defeat at the end of a 2-3 week period where the boys have been fantastic. And we're just going to make sure that we mentally prepare now for the game next week, and we get bodies back fit and we get everybody prepared well.
Thank you, Coach.